But still in Pope Francis, in his last public meeting in Kenya, he spoke at length about the problems facing Kenyan youth, including causes and effects, radicalization and tribalism, where he urged youth to be prayerful, upright and enduring in times of challenges. Sharon Mamani reports. Hours before the Pope's arrival at the Safaricom Kasarani Stadium, the venue was full of enthusiastic youth from across the country. Youth eager to hear from Pope Francis, who has over time demonstrated concern for young people. President Uhuru Kenyatta would arrive at the venue first to the cheer of the crowd. The animated stadium would burst into song and dance. A happy day it was for many of them. What a spectacle when President Kenyatta and First Lady Margaret would lead the crowd in dancing to Mugithi. And when the celebration seemed to reach its apex, it got even more animated with the arrival of the Pope. Riding in his Pope-mobile, waving to the young crowd, the moment was surreal to many. But excitement and jubilations aside, Pope Francis had profound advice to the youth of the country. The meeting began with a rendition of problems young people face, which were presented by youth representatives.
We sometimes ignore the counsel of our parents or guardians, considering them to be kind of backward, over the hill or quaint. Sometimes we are attracted to certain influential people in our society with questionable character. Holy Father, as young people, we are yearning for real role models for mentorship so that we do not carried away by worldly pleasures.
Challenges including effects of corruption, lack of access to education and employment opportunities, drugs and sexual abuse, as well as radicalization were among those raised. Tribalism, a deep-rooted vice in the country, limits the youth from accessing national resources and realizing development.
Tribalismo solo se vence. Tribalism can only become with the ear, with the heart, and with your hand. Con el oído.
On this issue, Pope Francis urges the country to hold hands and that each person should start by checking themselves.
Let's hold hands together.
Somos una
Let's
nación.
stand up as a sign against bad tribalism.
Todos somos una
There have
nación.
been many reported cases of young people who have been radicalized into militia groups. Oftentimes, these young people are usually in search of livelihoods due to lack of employment and poverty.
¿Qué podemos hacer para hacerlos volver?
What can we do after they have been recruited to try and get them to come back? To answer this, we have to ask, why do young people who are full of ideals allow themselves to be radicalized in this way?
Y se aparta de su familia,
Their family,
de sus amigos,
their friends,
de su tribu,
they leave their tribe,
de su patria.
they leave their country, they leave their lives behind in order to learn how to kill.
Y esta es una pregunta
This is a question which you yourselves must pose to all people in authority.
His off-the-cuff speech, in which he heartily addressed the crowd, was full of comforting words for the youth, asking them to resort to prayer and to God in times of desperation.
What words do you have for those young people who do not experience love from their families? Is it possible to move from such painful experiences?
¿Cómo podemos ver
How can we understand that God is our Father? How to see His hand in the tragedies of life?
Tunasema asante, asante.
And even as he left the stadium on his way out of the country, many will remember, if not everything, nuggets from his message, which had wise counsel not just for the Catholic youth, but indeed all the youth from across religions and nations in the continent. The Pope has challenged the youth to choose to overcome the challenges they face rather than let these challenges overcome them. He has also urged the leaders to create employment and education opportunities as a means of eradicating radicalization. Sharon Momanyi, KTN News at the Kasarani Stadium, Nairobi.